death was for our salvation. That is not by the works we do, but by the sacrifice he made with his own life. That is the believer. So our reference is the person who believes in this finished work and in the teachings of Jesus. That's the believer in our context.
All right, thank you very much, Nnaemeka. Nnaemeka, what is politics?
Well, one thing with definitions is even definition has its own problem because people define things from their backgrounds. So you hear people say something like politics is a game of numbers. You hear people say something like politics is the way to control power in the state. You hear people say something like politics is a dirty game. But for me, I would say politics is a system whereby, or a mechanism whereby certain persons or an individual come to hold control of power to make policies that will affect citizens of a particular state. That is what I see politics as. Yes.
Adebo, do you have something to add to that definition?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think, let me just add to what he said. Yes, he said it all. Politics is an activity of governance, and it might be in any level of life. It might start from your secondary school days as a prefect in school. It can start to the president of your faculty. So it's about governance, where you have people in which you are supposed to be in charge of. You have people in which you are supposed to, you are responsible for. Where you have all those scenarios, there's always politics.
Okay, I hope you are taking note of these definitions. Nnaemeka, you said something about politics being a game. I'd like you to throw more light on it.
Okay, I wasn't the one who said it. I was quoting people who say politics is a dirty game. Some people say it's a game of number. When you check it in our modern setting where democracy is prevalent, it's actually a game of number. If you check, when they conduct election, it's the person with the highest number of votes that wins. Especially in a society where they count the votes. In a society where they don't count votes, it means it will even be more dirty, because as election is approaching, cases of kidnapping begins to increase, assassination increases, ritual activities begin to increase. And you notice that these are people working their way into power, not through the proper way, but through the dirty way. So I think that's what people look at and say, this thing is a dirty game. It's not clean.
Okay, Gbadebo, do you agree?
Yes, I do. I also think it's always about the interest of the person when it comes to politics, and that's why I say it's a dirty game. Now, they don't care. A politician wants the power. How he gets the power might not be his own issue, but he can manipulate, he can betray, it's about their own interest. So it's how he now gets what he wants with his own interest. So he will play all the games, as he said, game of numbers, because he has to play that game of numbers to get. He has to play the game of smartness also. He has to play that game of deceiving people, depend on how. So there are a lot of things that are attached to it. So it's the combination of all these factors that makes it the dirty game.
And sorry,
okay.
Yes, we keep using game, and when you look at politics, is it really a game? Is it like football? Is it like chess game? Is it like what? Why do we call it game? The truth is, the politicians understand what they are doing better than those who follow them. You will see a man that was in a particular party, they maybe annoyed him in that party, he decamped to the next party. But the people that were with him as followers in that party have fought their own opponent followers, killed somebody, burnt houses, destroyed properties, and now that person has joined the other camp that you were burning their properties. And when you see these players, they hug themselves, they take pictures, they come on TV. You that were supporting, you be like, no, be our Oga be this. When did he switch over? Oga will not consult you. So to them, it's a game, like Gbadebo said. It's a game of interest. And however they attain that interest does not really matter to them. And that's where followers of politicians should watch out and be careful.
All right, thank you, Nnaemeka. So I will borrow your term, dirty game. So looking at politics now, they term it a dirty game. Is it necessary for a believer to indulge in politics? Badibo?
Yes, very, very. I mean, very.
In a dirty game?
Yes, very. No, in the dirty game, no. But in the politics, yes. the truth is, it's going to, let me just take a few minutes to explain why myself. If you listen to Pastor's message for, I think, last week or last 2 weeks,
okay,
I still went back to understand who Daniel was in the book of Daniel. Daniel, I think, to me, Daniel was one of the most successful politicians who never compromised from the beginning of when he was captured in Babylon to the end. He was one man who stood for what he wants. He was one man who participated in all the games, but did not compromise. Now, let me also borrow one of his thoughts, which I also studied about. Do you know that the returning of the Israel back to their land was also orchestrated by a gate man who was also a politician? That's Mordecai. Now, he was the backbone and the wisdom of Esther. So there is no weak. Participating in politics is a constant, but participating in the dirty game is where you now need the wisdom of God.
I think.
Okay, Nameka, okay.
I don't think you.
No, I didn't mean
you are saying.
Yes.
Looking at how
a believer swim inside that water.
Okay.
I have nothing against what. For me, I would say, one man said, if police is a dirty game, go in with your own brand of detergent and wash it clean. The Bible says, you are the light of the world, that you are a city on a hill. At a point, the prophet Isaiah declared, arise and shine, for your light is come. He now started saying that kings will come to the brightness of your rising. He was referring to believers in that prediction. Hallelujah. So, as for whether believers should participate in the dirty game, is a necessity. It is, especially in the Nigerian setting, the time for them to participate is now more than ever before. More than it has always been before. They should participate, irrespective of how dirty it seems. The reason is, if you don't get in, it will get dirtier.
Please tell your neighbor, if you don't get in, to get dirtier. Okay, looking at, to give the mic to Naimeka. We're looking at Nigeria as a multicultural society, and so many things go on in Nigerian politics. So, are there limitations to what a believer can achieve in politics? Are there any limitations there for a believer? Politics?
Yeah, I believe even without being multicultural, in countries that are homogeneous in their ethnic group or language group or religious faith, they still have challenges. They still have limitations. How much more a country that is as diverse as Nigeria is? I believe it's not everything a believer might set out to do that he will end up achieving. I believe there are limitations.
All right, I believe there is still more to the answer to that question. So I'd like you to explore it.
Okay, for example, look at Nigeria very well. Thank God all of us are Nigerians. We are not in Cameroon now. We are in Nigeria. Look at your country very well. We have this situation where there is this mutual distrust between Muslim and Christians. The pagans have no problem with you being Christian or with you being a Muslim. We read in our history book that one man said that the jihadist agenda of Islam will not stop until the Quran is dipped in the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is referring to the uttermost southern part of Nigeria. From the beginning of the government of the current government till now, there has been this suspicion that this government has an agenda, especially from Christians. from the policies that have been made, from the activities of certain groups of people, it is as if this particular religion is against the other religion. Now, imagine a Christian coming in, trying to get into power. The other people will feel like, what we have done to these people, if we give them a chance and they come in, they will double whatever we did to them and punish us very well. We will not give them the chance. Now, if that believer, for instance, succeeds in coming into power, they will try everything possible to tarnish the image of his government, so that when they come again to campaign, they will say, this man did not do anything. He does not deserve a second tenure. And every reasonable person will look at it and say, indeed, this man does not deserve second tenure. But imagine that we all speak the same language. Imagine that our culture is one, our language is one, our faith is one. Just imagine. There won't be that kind of opposition. The opposition that would have come in would just be opposition of individual interest. But this one is, we have ethnic interest, tribalistic interest, we have religious interest. So these are some of the things that we pose as strong limitations to when a believer might want to make policies. Take again, for instance, when Goodluck was president, in trying to maybe help the people in the north because of the number of out-of-school children, he built Almajiri schools to accommodate those of them that go around begging as Almajiri children. But if you go to north today, just go to north today. I served in the north. I went to law school in the north. So I saw these things. I didn't read it in the news. They've converted most, 90% of those places, as toilets, as kiosk shops, roadside shops. There's no pupil in any of those places again. Why do you think they do so? They think so because they fundamentally believe that Western education is against the core belief of Islam. And anybody that wants to bring such thing to them will water down the fundamentalism of Islam. So that take for instance, the elites in the north know that Western education is good. They send their children outside to study. Now you want to bring that same enlightenment to the people that have always served them, call them Baba, Rankadede Baba, call them all those things. Now you want them to gain knowledge and emancipate themselves. Now, a Christian who has seen the same light, knowing that bringing that light to these people will help them in life, the elites in those areas will pose as a strong limitation to what he might want to do. That is one. Secondly, there's one British Prime Minister, that should be Gordon Brown, during the time of Goodluck. He said Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. When he said that thing, some people laughed at it. They didn't know what he meant. What that man meant is that there's a book in literature, there's a branch of literature they call fantasy. That everything you read there, is not real. But it will appeal to your imagination. It will thrill you. The man is saying that if you come to Nigeria, the corruption you see in Nigeria, you will not believe it's real. Yet it is real. That's why when I said you are not in Cameroon here, you are in Nigeria here. Almost everybody here has experienced one form of corruption or the other. In some countries, your imported goods, it takes 24 hours to clear your goods from the port. In Nigeria, it takes 3 months. Your import took 1 week to arrive Lagos port. It took you 3 months to clear. Now check the price you bought that in and the price you sell that in. It will not be the same. Why do you think it took 3 months? There are people that you must see. If you don't see them, you won't be cleared. So that's the issue. That's the issue. Now, imagine that you want to come in and clear those people. One, they will stop you on the way so that you don't come in. Because they have pecuniary, they have financial interest, they have a lot of motivation. And if you should come in by any means, all the budgets they wrote out for themselves, the houses they want to build, the vacations they want to go to in Dubai, you are spoiling it for them. Sorry, let me make reference again.
Okay, sir.
There's this book written by Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She called it Fighting Corruption is Dangerous. Yes, that's the title. In that book, she said that when she was finance minister under Goodluck, that she handled this issue of clearing the port. And when that thing started working, there is they call cargo tracker number, TCN. Every cargo, there's a company that wherever that cargo is. Now you see that the customs people have representative at the port. There are different security agents that you must go through all these people. Now, going through them does not necessarily mean that you present paper and you pass. It's not by presenting paper. So when they constituted a committee with the presidential task force team, they gave them mandate that they want everything to be minimum, that's maximum 48 hours, minimum 24 hours as is obtainable in other countries. Instantly, people began to call the president to report the finance minister that how come he's giving this woman all this, that is it the woman that is president or is it him that is president? As if that is not enough. They embarrassed her when the one director from World Bank, IMF rather, came to commission a project in Abuja, that there is a gate which heads of states normally follow when they want to go and see the president. And Jonathan said that it is that gate they should use to admit that woman. But when it was time for them to go through, the presidential aide that warned her against removing that cargo tracker number blocked that gate. That fortunately the woman that came as a visitor understood the game that was going on and was smiling. And when they finally went to the main gate, they told them, no, that is not the gate. They say we should not open this one. The gate they finally entered is the gate that normal people that are trekking into Aso Rock, that's the gate they finally followed and entered. So the visitor told Goodluck he should not worry, that she used the opportunity to look at the beautiful gardens in the Aso Villa and pretend that she didn't know anything. But the person that planned that thing was doing it as a revenge for the finance minister. She further said that she used to attend morning devotion in the Aso Rock Chapel every morning before work. When the same presidential aide noticed that that's what she does, he told the security people not to allow her when it's time to go, that she should not pass. It happened 3 times. She stopped going until whoever was responsible for that caved in and she resumed. My point is, look at the legacy of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Was it a bad legacy? Her mother was kidnapped when they heard that she was coming back to become finance minister. And they finally released her. And all that. My point is, any believer that is going in should not think that it is normal game. That believer should prepare. He should really prepare because there's a lot of barriers ahead of him.
Wow, thank you very much, Naimeka. But do you have something to add to that?
He has said it all.
Okay.
But let me just add the icing.
Okay.
There's a part in which might also be a barrier for Christian. As he has said, we have multicultural, both ethnic and religious. I am a politician, I'm a Christian, I'm from the West. I want to become a president of Nigeria. And I need to convince the people in the North that I want to become a president. It's, as I said, it's going to be difficult. So if you are supposed to do that, it means you need to compromise for you to deceive the people in the North. Yeah, no, I'm just talking about the game of the politics. I'm not saying as a Christian. I'll still bring myself as a Christian. You need to compromise to deceive the ones in the North that, okay, we have to agree to your terms and conditions. Just allow me to get there. But they also understand the game well. Yeah. So as a Christian, you should ensure you've put your leg down. This is what I'm doing. If it's God's will for you to be there, you are going to be there. It happened in, as I've said, Daniel. When Darius was trying to kind of separate the kingdom, he checked the precedent, and Daniel was the favorite. So in the at that point, what happened was that they decided to start checking what could Daniel must have done, so that we'll report him that Daniel also is corrupt. Yeah. If Daniel did not have a good track at that particular point, he would have fell for it, and that was how he would have lost it. So it still points down that as a Christian, no matter what happened, leave the dirty game and play your own gospel game, but put your foot down and express yourself.
All right, thank you, Padibo. Naimeka, we've established that it's very necessary for a believer to participate in politics. Now, are there any leadership platforms that a believer can explore as he matures in this journey?
Yes.
Politics, okay?
Yes. The truth is, sometimes, I'm sorry to say this, but it's like believers are not as far-sighted as they should be. They ignore little platforms. They ignore small platforms. They want the big fish. For example, almost everybody here went to primary school, if not all. How many persons were class prefects here? That was a platform. How many people were school functionary, social prefect, sanitary prefect, library prefect. That was a platform. Because these things will add up later in life. People that were your schoolmates, they will speak about you when people are making inquiries. Are you aware that when people are nominated for appointment, they do background check on them? Yeah. DSS does that. You will not know what they are doing. They will submit their report to the house committee that will screen you. These are the stains we found on this man. Sometimes, if you have a good track record, it will work just like Badebo said in the case of Daniel. It will favor you. Secondly, in our campuses, they say who will be SUG, director of social, director of sports, SUG president. We leave it for cultists. We leave it for the bad people. Then when they start killing in the campus, you start hiding in a corner. Whereas it could have been you that would have made the policy, that would have brought peace, that would have made learning environment more conducive for everybody. But you felt like this one is not for us. I need to win more souls first. I need to go. I'm not saying you should not win souls, but I'm saying there's an environment that will make soul winning more conducive. Yeah. If we keep leaving touts to rule us, they can only give what they have. They can only, if somebody is not interested about your health, he cannot build hospital. And most of them, when they are sick, they have the means to fly abroad. They go and take them care of themselves. You, when you are sick, you start looking for a local clinic that can help you. So, there are many platforms. Let us not ignore these platforms. Even in church, there are people that have been told, join unit, join this, do this, do this. They think that followership is leadership. Yeah, yeah. Because I've purpose say, imitate me as I imitate Christ. It is what I see my father do that I will do. But if you have not seen any father do anything, the day you start doing your own, you'll be going left. Your father is going right. I want to encourage believers, do not belittle little platforms that present themselves. It's actually a good way to start.
All right, thank you. But do you have anything to add to that? Okay.
I think he's always hitting the nail straight. Experience is also key. You can't become a president of Nigeria today and you feel, I'm a Christian because of that. Okay, I understand the terrain. As you have said, if you have started as a prefect in secondary school, you would have learned something. Yeah. As a Christian, okay, if I do it this way, this is what is actually going to happen. Then you apply the wisdom as you go. So participating at every key area, even in your environment, they are looking for somebody that is going to represent the community. You share the notion and become, okay, I'm the chairman of this particular environment. Who knows that you might from there step into another particular place. One, you would have gained the experience of understanding how people think. You would have gained the experience of governance. You would have also gained the experience of where to, put your legs, so that when God is taking you to or when God takes you to that particular place as a president, as a governor, as a senator, you will be able to understand the terrain. So experience as a Christian in politics is very important.
All right, thank you, Gbadebo. Nnaemeka, there is this term called political apathy. We have Nigerians who would not vote. They won't encourage you to vote. They won't get their PVC. They are just there. It is their thing. I'm not interested. I want to be, let me take the matter of economy, So how do we address this? Because it's like a disease now everywhere. You don't want to vote. You don't want to get your PVC. You don't want to encourage persons that you're just there, just neutral, which is very wrong. So how do we address this matter?
First of all, I think there's a different narrative now. If you've been following trends on social media, I think there's a revolution in the country now. People are very angry, including myself. Yes. The truth is, we have given our leaders or politicians too much allowance. Are you aware that what makes politics interesting, or what creates platform for politics in civilized countries, is crisis situations? Problems that arise in communities, on street. Somebody will just come and say, everybody in this street, come out, let us clean this mess here. For that person being able to mobilize that number of people, the next time issues come, they will trust him again because he did well before. That person can go as a ward councillor.
Yeah.
He will do well. That person can come out as local government chairman. That person can grow and grow and grow. And the funny thing is, if you have a good track record, like one man always says, go and verify. If a man can be bold to come and say, go and verify, I believe some people have verified and they couldn't find anything. How many people can say, go and verify? That's to show that God loves Nigeria.
Yeah.
But now, these things will not happen if all of us go to sleep and say, nah, their thing. It's not their thing, it's our thing.
Yeah.
How many persons looking at me have voter's card? If you don't have voter's card, you are saying, nah, their thing. There was a time I shared links to almost all my friends on WhatsApp so that they can register for PVC. Or if they are out of their polling unit, they can apply for transfer to a new polling unit. After now, anywhere you see me, if you have not done it, meet me. I will help you. I want you to have your PVC. I want you to vote. Then beyond that, we can engage our political leaders whenever they come to the constituency. You as a believer, you've been watching him sleep when debates are going on in the parliament. You watch him on TV, you cover your face in shame because they're asking, where is that man coming from? They say, it's your village. Tell the man, sir, I have a bill that I believe will benefit our community. Can you help us sponsor this bill when you get back? Present the bill. You don't know how to write it. Meet anybody that can draft things in good English. They have expert draftsmen in the chamber there that will do it. My point is, we have made them so relaxed. We've made them feel comfortable not doing anything. Engage them. Let them know that they are not doing well. So that is what I have to say. Let's stop sleeping.
Let's stop sleeping. Get your PVC. Okay, Gbadebo, and we've come to the end of this talk show. So, what do you have to say to the body of Christ in general as regards political participation for a believer?
Let me just round it up. I think we should stop being keypad warriors because we are more of the social Twitter, Instagram. He's going to win. He's not going to win. We don't vote.
Online.
Yes, we have the right to vote. And if you don't use that right, you are wrong about it.
Yeah.
You don't have the right to now complain for the next 4 or 8 years. Yes, if you complain, then that's a sin too. Yes, because you did not do what you're supposed to do to effect the change. I was explaining to Nemeka yesterday, I said, you have a car that is broken down, it's at home. You are complaining to God that this car has not moved. You have not even moved it to the mechanic workshop. So at least, play your part, vote. I'm voting for my conscience. If your conscience, what you voted for, is not, or that's not the plan of God, or that's not the outcome of the plan of what you are thinking, then what's the outcome is the plan of God. But vote your conscience.
All right. Mr. Naimeka, a final word.
Yes. Just like I've already said, there are many ways we can participate. You can participate by contesting. You can participate by sponsoring a good candidate. You can campaign for a good candidate. There are candidates you believe in, whether they will win or not. These candidates represent what you believe as righteousness, what you believe as right principles. If those candidates stand alone, they will lose morale to go ahead. Yeah. But when they know that people are shouting behind them, they will be bold enough to confront other people that are against them. So it's not only when you come out to contest that you are participating as a believer. Cheer on other people that are already on the battlefield. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Till we come your way next time. Set it right. Thank you and God bless you.